Alright, guys, buckle up because I've got a wild story to share with you today. Picture this: three mischievous, rowdy kids, an old rickety jeep parked on an incline. Sounds like a recipe for disaster, right? Well, we are about to hear how things went downhill, quite literally, in our grandparents' driveway. But before we get into the meat of the story, here is a quick segment into what I'm drawing in the background. This is a page from my fantasy manga Diadem Chronicles that I'm planning to release once I get done inking the first 3 chapters. Alrighty, let me set a scene for you. This was back in the early 90s. It was just another day at our grandparents' place along with my extended family. Little did we know, a harmless playtime between 3 kids would soon turn into a nerve-wracking situation that we will never forget to this day. Now, it was me and 2 of my cousins who are siblings, and my memory is a little hazy, but I believe we were about 8 to 10 years old. The 3 of us are roughly about a year apart, give and take, me being in between them when it came to our age difference. And the whole family was gathered at our grandparents' place back in our village for some occasion or the other. I can't remember what it was. Like usual, we were playing in the front yard with this old Mahindra Jeep. I'll show you a picture for reference. This was not the actual Jeep. I don't have a photo of it. I don't think anyone does, if I remember. But anyways, so I don't have the actual photo. This is just for reference from Google. And this old Jeep was parked on an inclined driveway. So here's a picture of the driveway. And so, the Jeep was parked there, and the 3 of us, were having a great time running about, not even close to the Jeep, mind you, when we noticed the adults had mostly gone inside the house. And so, being the mischievous little rugrats that we were, we noticed this and decided to get in and play inside the old Jeep, pretending to drive the thing and, going off to somewhere, using our imagination at its best. Now, before we go further into the story, I need to explain a little bit about the car and the way it was parked. That's important for the next part. This old Jeep did not have any handbrake, or at least it wasn't functioning. So how you would park was that you would, stop the car, turn it off, put it into gear. If it is in an inclined slope, you would put it into gear, which would lock it. And then with the help of like a nearby rock, you would take that piece of rock, and then you would jam it into between one of the tires, either the front or the back, to help stop the vehicle from moving forward or backwards, whichever. And so, as we were pretend driving, we actually started filling with the gear stick, with the wheel, with just everything basically. And one of us puts it into neutral, and the car slowly but surely starts, edging a little bit forward, this momentum building. My older cousin and I, we were old enough and also quick enough to jump out, but in the process, we had left my younger cousin inside when suddenly the unthinkable happened. The Jeep starts to pick up speed and roll down the driveway with my younger cousin still inside. Can you imagine the panic that set in that moment? Well, at least for our parents, uncles and aunts, older cousins, anyone with a functioning brain, but the 2 of us. As you can imagine, chaos ensued. All I remember was one of my aunts dashing towards the now free falling jeep like a mad person. It was like a scene from an action movie, like an actual action movie, with my aunt desperately trying to stop the jeep before it reached the end of the driveway or, hit a wall or anything. And after what felt like an eternity, they finally managed to bring the jeep to a halt. The relief was palpable, but the adrenaline was still coursing through our veins. Looking back on that crazy day, it's clear that we learned some much needed valuable lessons, especially the three of us. And of course, being Asian, butts were spanked, and rightly so. So there you have it, a roller coaster of a story that unfolded right in my grandparents' driveway. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you ever experienced a similar funny or crazy situation? Share your stories in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more crazy stories, because oh boy, do I have more stories to tell. Like the time a bomb exploded right in front of the shoe store I was in along with my mom. Until next time, cheers.